All right, so what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, man. It's your boy, and as you can see, sneak peek number 2 is here for the May update. And as many of us were anticipating, it is going to be a Scarlet Witch tier 4. And I gotta say, I'm hyped for this because Scarlet Witch is one of my favorite characters in the game, so you know your boy going tier 4 her as soon as possible. However, unfortunately, I'm gonna be on vacation, so you guys are gonna have to wait a couple days, maybe about a week, before you get to see my tier 4 Scarlet Witch. Your boy gonna be in Jamaica for a bit, but it is what it is. Anyways, Scarlet Witch getting tier 4 alongside Quicksilver. Gotta say, this is most definitely the most expensive mid-month patch we've ever seen, and considering the fact that this is dropping right after we got tier 4 Sentry, a tier 3 native getting tier 4, I'm not sure what these devs are thinking. Like, how do they realistically expect people to keep up at this pace? If they're going to be dropping back-to-back tier 4s like this, and they're tier 2 native tier 4, which means they cost more than average. After we just had an anniversary where people dropped a bag to buy stuff, the fact that they're dropping expensive updates like this to continuously squeeze the player base for resources, I don't know, man. Something gotta give. At some point, people are gonna get pissed off and they're probably gonna be leaving in drove, especially if we don't see any new content in the next 6 months. Because although the anniversary events were nice, giving out stuff like tier 3s and a transcended character here or there, the fact of the matter is, giving us tier 3 characters and transcended characters don't mean much if they're just going to get overshadowed by tier 4 characters. That's the truth of the matter. You're giving us characters that are, in essence, kind of useless and outdated. Even newer tier 3s, for example, like what's his name there? I forgot about him already, and most of you guys probably already did. I'm talking about Ant-Man. Brand new tier 3, brand new uniform, and he has no place in the game. I ain't gonna lie, I love Quicksilver and I love Scarlet Witch, but I think they should have possibly considered giving this guy tier 4 for the mid-month in place of maybe Quicksilver. And I'm saying Quicksilver because I like Scarlet Witch more, but either one of them could have been next month, because realistically, this is a wasted uniform. He has no place anywhere. Like, even in Alliance Conquest, he's mid at best, bro. So like, what was the purpose of this uniform? I know this video is supposed to be about Scarlet Witch and hyping her up and stuff, but I gotta point out the fact that these characters are extremely expensive, and if you just went all in on building up Sentry because he's now top 2 for PvP, most of y'all not gonna be in the situation where you can tier 4 either one of them right away. Some of y'all might be able to tier 4 one of them, but most of y'all not going to be able to tier 4 both of them. Now, luckily, the way how they're dropping tier 4s like candy, most of the time they're miss and they're skips. And that's not what I want, okay? I'm not saying I want either one of these guys to be a skip because they're 2 of my favorite characters in the game. But we got to be realistic and we got to look at the patterns lately, okay? They've been dropping a lot of lackluster tier 4s because they're dropping them so fast without even putting much thought into them. They're just basically trying to sell them based off the popularity of the character. So they toss that uniform on them and just give them a tier 4. And a lot of the tier 4s, the buff themselves are just like played out shit like extra all attack. You know what I'm saying? Which don't really do nothing. Anyways, point is, I'm excited to see what they do for Scarlet Witch, but I gotta point out the fact that they're going, in my opinion, too fast, and eventually they're gonna burn out the player base and people are gonna dip. Now, I see people saying that, yo, Scarlet Witch getting tier 4 means Carol, aka Captain Marvel, is going to be replaced instantly. And I want to remind you guys that yes, Carol is a universal character and Wanda currently is a universal character. However, there is 4 iteration, and the base iteration of Wanda was in fact a Blast character. Keep that in mind. Blast, first uniform, Blast. Second uniform, Blast. Third uniform, Blast. Keep that in mind, okay? It wasn't until WandaVision that she became a universal character, which means, right, there is a possibility that they might revert her to being a Blast character with her newest uniform. Not saying that's what's going to happen. I'm just saying it's a possibility. So don't count your chickens before they hatch, because they may want to double dip. They may realize that, listen, people are going to tier 4 Scarlet Witch regardless of her typing, regardless of whether she's meta or not, and then we can still get people to tier 4 Captain Marvel if she is still meta. Now, there's a chance that they make Scarlet Witch so broken that even if they make her, like her tier 4, for example, so broken that even if you, for example, tier 4 her and then use her with old uniform, she might be better than Carol. Who knows? Might be something that could happen, but I just want to point that out there. Now, I doubt they're gonna go back because, for example, Jean Grey, she also started off as a Blast character, and ever since they transformed her into a Universal character, they never went back. So it's a possibility that, listen, they're rectifying a mistake that they made in the very beginning, because as you can see right here, base kit Jean, Blast, first uniform, rather second look, Blast, and then from there we got Universal and then Universal again. I doubt Jean Grey will ever go back to being a Blast character, but it's something that they could do very easily in the future, because they could always just say, hey, she was initially a Blast and we're just trying things out and we just want to mix things up and all that good stuff, right? Long story short, Scarlet Witch getting tier 4 doesn't necessarily mean Carol is going to be dead in the wind yet, okay? It could very well happen, but I don't want to just tell you that, yeah, it's going to happen for sure, because it might not. But historically speaking, every time Scarlet Witch has gotten a power up, she's always become the meta for Universal for ABX at the very least. Okay, so that might be the case this time around, especially since she's already so good. She got a self-buffing leadership that's better than what Carol has. Her 4-star passive gives her extra attack. They might bump this up even further, and then all of her skills just scales up her damage ridiculously, especially since they can instantly be cancelled. And she has all of these ABX effects, right? She has burn, silence. I believe she also has paralysis on a skill. Let me just check. One of these skills have, I think, paralysis. Yeah, this one right here. Truthfully speaking, I would like to see them change her tier 3 this time around from just her throwing rocks, because she can do so much more. So that will be cool. I will say though, I wonder if they'll try a different approach by trying to make her meta for PvP. Now, I don't think that's gonna happen, but it's something that they could explore because she has the base penetration. So here's the hoping they do something. Nah, they ain't gonna do it. Listen, if there's one thing I know about Marvel, they don't like to deviate from established roles for characters, and Luna Snow is the perfect example of that. Been an ABX character, always will be an ABX character, no matter what. So ABX and ABL, which means that's probably what Wanda is gonna be. Now, there's never really been an established order for, well, actually, that's not true. Every time Quicksilver got touched, he's been good for timelines. So I guess that's the established order. Okay, Quicksilver PvP, Scarlet Witch PvE, even though for a while, because she had the penetration, she could see some play in timeline. I doubt that's going to be the case this time around, but she does have a reflect. Does she have it in this uniform? Oh, this is one thing that you definitely should bump up. The accumulation, 0.4 is so bad. I gotta bump that up to at least 1%. The healing is, if she's just an ABX character, then it doesn't really matter. This is what I was talking about, the reflect. Well, goddamn, I completely forgot that they took away the reflect from her in this Doctor Strange 2 uniform. Not that she was really using it for ABX, but I had completely forgotten that they took it away. Be interesting to see if they give it back to her in this new uniform. Also, just like Quicksilver, Wanda doesn't have much value outside of ABX because of the tags that she has. She's titled as other, not mutant, and because of that, there isn't many stages that you can use her on. And then on top of that, chaos magic and fast movement are not tags that you see very often in World Boss Legend. So because of this, Wanda's place in the game is very limiting. It's either ABX meta, or you can easily skip her if you don't love her. So it's gonna be interesting to see what they do, boys. Y'all let me know what your thoughts are on the current, I would say, direction of the game. I don't like it personally, because I mentioned this in my video about Quicksilver. The faster they give these tier 2 natives tier 4s, ultimately the weaker they're going to be in the grand scheme of things. Because a year down the line, when they give Hope Summers a tier 4, you think she's not going to be easily stronger than these tier 4s here that are tier 2 natives? Obviously, she's going to have to be, because otherwise, who the hell is going to be tier 4 in her? Or Gambit for that matter, or Mr. Sinister, or even somebody like Domino. Maybe she gets something when Deadpool drops. You never know. Like, all of these characters that are being left behind and skipped over, that should have been getting tier 4 first so that they can get some shine. Like, let's be real, when they eventually get their tier 4, they're gonna have to be better than these guys, and these guys cost more. So I'm not sure what these devs are smoking, but maybe I'm just retarded and I don't know what I'm talking about. We'll have to see what the game looks like in 2 years when it comes to these tier 4s, if the game is even still here. We'll see. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.